Hi, this is Richard Alexander. I'm a member of Austin Clubhouse, and I have uploaded, and the Clubhouse is going to upload a song to YouTube called Advice for Bill Ward. And Celia and Southern are going to ask me questions about music in general, and this song in particular. And I'll just give it over to you guys. Go ahead.
Thank you, Richard. So our first question is, what inspired you to write this song?
I was looking at I was watching a Black Sabbath video, a Black Sabbath documentary, and it was of course it was all Black Sabbath songs during the Ozzy Osbourne era, and but there was this one part where they feature the drummer Bill Ward and a song he wrote that was not a Black Sabbath song, but he was so they I guess they just put it in this documentary, and it was a nice little song about, oh, be so nice and loving, and give it away and all this stuff. And so I got inspired to write this song about, you should be careful about that kind of thing, about giving away your love to people, and that's, and so is my advice for Bill Ward. But I think Bill Ward already knew that and knows that, but so it's really advice for me, to giving to myself personally.
Now, Richard, how long have you been making music for?
I was asked to audition for my friend's band in 2000 as the front man, the lead vocalist. And so I auditioned in 2000, and then got kind of a little bit into that. But what really happened was I quit smoking in 2002, and started to, and with the extra money I had from not buying cigarettes, I paid for guitar lessons. I borrowed a friend's guitar and took classical guitar from Austin Guitar School with a teacher named Chuck Pinnell. And so for several years, I played classical guitar, but then I got into songwriting in 2000, I want to say Christmas Day 2006. I wrote the first words to my song that I wrote the words and music to. And it was an autobiographical song called Richy Vegas, the Blind Assassin, Part 1. And that's on my YouTube channel. But so that was the first song I wrote both the words and music to. And I also started contributing words to my friends, to the band I was in, Insect Sex Act. It started in the 2000 aughts. And we finally broke up in 2012, but not before making an album that features a lot of songs that have my lyrics on them and my vocals. So I would say about 20 years I've been actively involved in music. I started taking guitar lessons in 2002, and started writing songs in 2007, really.
And how many songs do you think you've written?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I'm working on my 5th album. The last album had 15. The album before that had 14. The album before that had 8, and the album before that had 6. And so add those up plus that's about about 50, it's about 60 songs I'm either going to record or have recorded, about 58 to 60 songs. But as far as written, there's a lot of I've discarded. There's a lot I have yet to record. I would say I probably have about, the next album I'm going to do after this one I record is, I'm going to try to have 15 songs. And I got about 7 or 8 that are keepers. So I would say about, of the songs I want to keep and do something with, or have done something with, about 67 or 70.
That's good.
Awesome. I love how you took the money that you saved from quitting smoking and like channeled that into music. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was just decided, and then playing guitar is very hard to learn, especially something like classical guitar. I decided, well, I'll be a bad guitar player instead of an excellent smoker. It's like, and so So I'll go ahead and, go ahead and just play guitar badly for a long time. And if I were to advise anybody who wants to take guitar lessons, I think the first objective in taking guitar lessons, whether online or or in person when this period of our history is over, is to first get yourself to enjoy practicing. If you can play with enough dedication and persistence to get to the point where you enjoy practicing, then that's your starting off point. And generally, the guitar teachers advise you practice for about 30 minutes a day, if not every single day, every day. Uh, I'm at a stage now where I practice in order to do things like record and perform. I don't practice just for the sake of practice or to memorize songs I've just written. It's either for just getting the songs down, practicing for a performance, or practicing to record them.
That kind of leads us to the next question. Like, what's your process for making music besides like practice?
I come up with a lot of like lyrics that generally little lines of a song that like little lyrics, and I'll write down the lyric, and sometimes I'll set aside a lyric for like months or even a year and a half, and I'll pick it up again and say, oh, let's do a song with that. And I'll write lyrics, and as I'm looking at the lyric, I'll come up with a melody. And then when I had a teacher, when Chuck Pinnell was my teacher, I would generally write a rough draft of a song, take it to him, and he'd say, oh, well, here's what you should do with the bridge. I think this is the arrangement. So he'd really help me with the arrangement. But now I got another teacher, Jesse Ellis, and he's pretty good for that. What we're doing with Jesse is doing like classic rock songs like AC/DC and Jimi Hendrix, and not so much songwriting. I'm kind of off on my own. And so once this pandemic period's over, what I'm going to do with my process is just kind of workshop out this rough drafts of the songs in like open mics and songwriter circles, and just kind of work on it that way. Plus bounce it off of Jesse. But for example, something that might take me just one lesson with Chuck to do an arrangement of, it took me about a year to work out just on my own. So the process has got to change, but I got to adapt because Chuck moved to Philadelphia.
Well, I'm going to ask, you may have kind of already answered it. What comes first for you, the music or the words?
The lyrics generally come up with a lyric first, and then just the melody kind of like that accompanies it, that the lyric sounds good. Sometimes, yeah, that's generally it. So I would say the words first.
Okay.
And Richard, do you come from like a musical background, family?
My grandmother played piano during the silent film era to silent films, back in the 1920s. But she passed away before I ever started playing guitar. She knew me when I was taking piano lessons as a kid, but generally it's just me and her in that side of my family. And I think in my dad's side of the family, there's no one musical. So I would say generally, yeah, I'm really the one that makes music in my family. I have a pretty large extended family on my mother's side, and I'm known as the one who does these sort of things.
Listen, regarding your hopes for like where you want to go with this, where do you want to go with music?
Just write more songs. Right now, I just want to get back on my feet. Through this pandemic period, and then we'll talk about. I just want to get back to where I was, where I go play open mics and songwriter circles, and get my friends to book me a gig opening for them. And it's mainly solo, acoustic guitar. Sometimes I'll use an electric guitar when I'm playing solo. I'm not looking to be in a band, for example, or collaborate with anybody. So as far as career and going on tour, I'm getting pretty old for that kind of thing. I might play overnight dates in places like Dallas or San Antonio or Houston or Fort Worth, but the idea of going out on the road and trying to play gigs, and I'm 56 years old, that seems a little bit beyond me. And just the idea of being in a hotel room by myself after going to a bar, not drinking, being sober, coming back and trying to get to sleep in a hotel room just doesn't appeal to me. So it's just more of a serious hobby, I guess. I'm not trying to make money off it per se. It would be nice, but really, I think the money to be made is in live performance, and I'm not willing to build up a live audience to the extent where I can make a living off it.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I hope you guys watching the video enjoy the song. And you can check out my YouTube channel at www.richyvegas.com. There is some adult-oriented material on the YouTube channel and the songs. This one is okay for anybody. Advice for Billboard. And I'm signing off. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
No.
Okay.
That was great. That was awesome.
Take 3. The song goes out to Bill Ward, the retired drummer of Black Sabbath. Bill, you said a very nice thing about giving it all away, about how love is free and it's gotta be, and you're giving it all away. Bill, don't let those rats into your house. Bill, they'll turn a man into a mouse. Oh, you might think she's neat, and you might think she's sweet, but Bill, don't let those rats into your house. Bill, let me just tell you this one thing. Georgia cheese don't buy no wedding ring. Though this song's really for me, it's been taking a time or 3. Oh, but Bill, let me just tell you this one thing. But if they get under your skin, do this yet once again. Just hunker down and ride it out, boy, stay out of the bin. That peace you find in you, so I'll tell you what to do. The day will come to send it on, it's the right thing to do. Paul said love me do, so it just might be you. So boy, take care, treat yourself fair, though Paul said love me do. Bill, don't let those rats into your house. Bill, they'll turn a man into a mouse. Oh, you might think she's sweet, and you might think she's neat, but Bill, don't let those rats into your house. Subscribe to this channel and check out richyvegas.com for all your web needs, web comics, all sorts of stuff. Have fun.